Now we're going to add color to our creature or our monster. So I'm cleaning out my brush here. I have a watercolor set that I'm going to use. Now, you guys have been doing little kid stuff lately. Y'all been answering some hard questions with our artwork, really thinking about what you're doing. So little kid, they just color in the whole thing. All right, but we're going to try to take it further than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add color to things. So let's say that I want his eyes to be orange. So I'm going to start painting in there, but I'm only going to go about halfway around that circle that I did. So add a little bit more water, a little bit more paint. So I'm going to go about halfway around this. I want that inside part to be a different color, so I'm going to leave that for now. So I'm going to rinse out my brush. I'm running it over the edge of my bucket 2 times, and I'm going to touch my clean brush to the orange paint, and I'm going to pull it the rest of the way across. So I get kind of a 3D effect because the color fades away. So that will make it look a lot more interesting than just coloring everything one color. On the inside part there, maybe that's going to be black, so I'm going to fill that in. Those are small shapes, so I can just do that all one color and fill it in like normal. But when I do some of the bigger stuff, I want to try to add color, but then blend it the way I showed you guys a minute ago. So I'm just going to go part of the way around his head, maybe about halfway around. And then I'll put some more of that blue around some other stuff. About part of the way to halfway around. It's about halfway around the foot here. Halfway around this foot. All right, but then I'm going to clean the paint out of my brush, and I'm going to go back in. I'm going to pull the rest of that blue paint across the rest of the shape. So here I'd started with the head, so I'm going to touch this to the blue where it stopped, and I'm going to pull this the rest of the way across. So it sort of has that fading away effect where it blends in, and it looks more realistic in 3D. Because I have a light part showing and I also have a dark part. This seems like I need some more water, so I'm adding some more water to my brush and pulling that the rest of the way across. So you can see where I stopped painting, but when I touch the wet brush to it, because these are watercolors, it wets the paint, it reactivates it, and it makes it move more. But I'm really getting this nice 3D effect with my color usage. So I'm blending my colors. Some people might call it fading, but in art you would call it blending. You are fading the color away, but you're fading it for a reason. And that technique, that reason is called blending. So you're blending your colors. Pulling it the rest of the way across the shape. There. So with something like my horns, let's say I'm going to make those green. Oops, I just dipped it in the blue when I said green. So again, I'm only going part of the way around the shape, not all the way around. So I'm going to do that to one side. And that could go a little darker, so I'm going to get a little more green on there. Go right on top of that to add more of that green. Same thing over here. Clean out my brush. I'm running it out over the edge of the bucket twice to get rid of my extra water, and then I'm going to touch it to where the green stopped, pull it the rest of the way across, and that makes that horn look really 3D. Over here it just looks like I outlined one side. When I pull the paint the rest of the way across, I get that blended 3D effect. So you're going to be doing that to yours. I'm going to be doing that to mine, and then we'll talk about adding color into the background.